thanks guys. So we're going to do a topic this afternoon that we're actually just going to introduce the Savi, and then on Monday we're going to start doing some questions. Now, I'm not planning on setting homework for you this weekend. Yes. But I haven't actually decided on that yet, so we'll see how we go for the rest of the lesson. So your heading is, stop listening please, whoever that is. So your heading is percentage of a number, okay? Write that down. Well, let's call it percentage of a quantity. So that's percentage of a number, percentage of a figure, something, anything like that. And so we would use this skill lots of times. The most common time that I use this skill is if I walk into somewhere or I'm shopping online and I see something like 30% off, for example. By working out what 30% is of the cost of that thing, if I then take that away from the price, I can work out exactly how much it's going to cost me that day if it's on sale. There's lots of other ways times I would use this skill, but that's a really common one. Okay, so I'm going to do an example and then write the steps next to it like I usually do. You're going to do the same thing. Yep. Okay, so my example might look something like this. 30% of, yes please, of 50. Okay, 30% of 50, that's an example of the question. And before I start the working that I'm going to show you now, this is the way I'm going to show you works for every question like this. But depending on the question, there might actually be other ways to do this. Okay? We'll talk about that in more detail on Monday. So today I'm just going to show you one fail-safe method, as we say. Yep.
So did you just say that you minus the percentage over the number? So wouldn't that just be 20/20?
So no, I need to find out. I'm not minusing 30 of 50. I need to find out what 30% of 50 is, and then I would subtract it. Let's go through the question and see if that makes more sense at the end when you know the answer. Yeah. Okay, so 30% of 50. Like I said, lots of different ways to do this. What we are going to find out is exactly the answer at the end, and then I won't have to multiply it by anything else. I could also find what 10% is and times it by 3. I could find what 1% is and times it by 30. Okay? They can be options, but the one I'm going to show you works for every kind, and when you get more complex numbers, this one is the easiest. Okay, so just over the side of your page, I want you to write these steps too. So the first one is write the percentage as a fraction. So what's 30% as a fraction? Not in its simplest form, just as a standard fraction H. 30 over 100, yeah, cool. That is step number 1. The next step here, I know I'm working quickly, but this working will stay up here, is to write the multiplication sign and then times it by the whole number over 1. Now the whole number in this question is 50. So I'm going to go times 50 over 1.
Wait, what? How did you change the 100? 30
So 30% as a fraction is the same as 30 over 100.
And then
I'm just going 50. So you can even just do that with the multiplication sign. Alright, now actually from this point forward should be familiar steps to you. Okay, so number 3 is cancel. I'm always going to write that as a question mark. Sometimes you can't, most of the time you can. So the combination we would look at to cancel is the, you tell me?
50 and 100.
Yeah? Yeah, the 50 and 100. So if I divide by 50, that becomes 1. And this becomes 2. How good's that? Making it much smaller.
So divide. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually that's a different way to get to the end, okay? But I'm just going to show you this little method first. So we're going to rewrite it 30 over 2 times, we're just going to keep going because you're with me anyway, 1 over 1. So then I would multiply my numerators then denominators. Really easy in this case because this is 1 over 1. Okay? So that gives me 30 over 2. And rightly, we could have actually done this step over here, which is totally fine. I hope we're all recording this info. Yep. Okay. Yeah, and so then that means 30 over 2, if we were to simplify that, which we always do, which is our last step, simplify. 2 goes into 30 15 times.
51.
Exactly.
We get that
So 30% of 50 is 15. So let's say I walked into a shop and there was something selling for $50, let's say. Now it didn't have a dollar sign in the question, but let's say that it was $50 and it was 30% off. It would be $15 less, so I'd be paying $35 for that thing, whatever it is. Alright, so guys, I've just recorded that working as a video, so I'm going to place it on the Google Classroom for you guys to look at next week.
Are you recording right now?
I'm recording right now. Don't do something stupid. And that's why I didn't say I was recording. Okay?